I had it turned off because it's loud. The heat is loud. I've got my. I'm ready for the marathon. I've got my. Well, I drank all my tea. I'm gonna have to go get some more. I've got my. I'm making sandwiches. I've got my disinfecting wipes. I have my paper towels, my Kleenex, my nose spray, my mouthwash. I've got my napkins and Pocky. I've got Pocky. And I have my Manos, the Hands of Fate coloring book, if I get too bored, and my Disney's The Black Hole board game. I might do some unboxing of more interesting stuff between movies. But right now, Javier says 33% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it's not a good movie. It's kind of fun to watch and riff on. He says people in lockdown in Washington. How is it up there? Yeah, people are on lockdown. I'm not happy with the way things are being done up here. Javier, of course, is in El Salvador. Did I get it right this time? Last time I got it wrong. He says he has that board game. Javier says he has that board game. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I did an unboxing. I had a local comedian up here with me. Yes, El Salvador. Got it right this time. Are people going nuts down there in El Salvador like they are up here? Because here we're in Renton, Washington, a suburb of Seattle, which is only 3 or 4 miles away from that Life Center, the Kirkland Life Center, where all those people died. Almost all of the deaths, most of the deaths here in the United States were in that one old folks home, and people are just losing their minds. I think the governor has gone too far. But this is not a political broadcast. This is not this is not an opinion broadcast. This is a fundraiser where we're showing bad movies. Javier says, yeah, he saw the vid with the unboxing. Yeah, and the guy that I was doing the unboxing with when I pulled this out, he'd never heard of the Black Hole. He'd never heard of Disney's Black Hole. I was really surprised by that. These young kids. Javier says, yes, it's starting down there. I was in the supermarket at 6:30 in the morning. Was it bad? Anyway, this is the 50th Street Studios 12-hour bad movie live stream. We just finished watching The Brain from Planet Aros. And in 10 minutes or so, we're going to start TOBOR the Great. That's what's on the schedule next. I should bring up the movie schedule. Where did I post it? I might have to download it from my own website, from my own Twitter or whatever. I don't think I have a copy of it here on my desktop. Let's see. Yeah. There it is. Save picture as. There we go. It's a good thing you can't see my desktop. I'll leave it at that. And we are shortly going to start. Let me open up this. Let me open this up. Javier says, I have a friend who lives in Seattle, author of Steam Whistle Alley. I beta read that book before release. I should be in the credits of the book. I don't think beta readers get credits. Steam Whistle Alley. Okay. Yeah, Seattle has lost its mind. Let me add. Yeah, okay, let me add a thing here. I guess I can't add a scene? Let's see. Give me 1 second while I add. When I add an image, I can show you the schedule. Nope, that's not what I intended to do. Well, whatever. Yeah, that was not what I intended to add. Let's add something else here. There we go. Here is the movie schedule. You can see that, right? I'm going to rename this. Okay, yeah, we're going to be starting TOBOR the Great shortly. We just finished watching Brain from Planet Arrows. We're going to start TOBOR the Great. And after that, at noon Pacific, I'm going to show a surprise movie. And then later on, Little Shop of Horrors, and then Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, then Manos: The Hands of Fate, then Plan 9 from Outer Space. And then in the evening, I will show some other stuff. Now, wait a minute. What? It changed the logo on me there. Okay, now I don't have the 50th Street logo in the corner. I've got the movie schedule up in the corner. I didn't tell it to change that. I didn't tell it to change that graphic. I did that on the other screen. I did that on this screen. What the? Stupid. And there's always something. And I don't have this audio figured out. Why is the audio not broadcasting? The desktop audio. Yeah, I can't get the desktop audio to broadcast. Like here. Let me open this. I'm playing an audio file here. You're hearing it over the microphone. Let me turn off the microphone. Yeah, Javier, tell me, you can hear it now because I have the microphone on, but when I turn the microphone off, Okay, now I have the microphone back on. When I had the microphone off, you couldn't hear any audio, correct? For some reason, my desktop audio is not broadcasting. And I don't get it. I don't get it at all. He says, yep, no sound. Now I'm looking in audio, desktop audio device. I'm going to advanced. Audio monitoring device. Let me look in sound settings. Sound control panel. Properties. Advanced. I'm looking at properties. It has something to do with monitoring. Yeah. Maybe add Invasion of the B-Girls to the lineup, or would there be copyright issues? Yeah, we have to show public domain films. The dumbest things cause copyright problems. Recording. Sounds. Let's see, configure. Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere. Advanced sound options. It has something to do with monitoring. OBS is not monitoring, apparently. Is not monitoring the desktop audio. So I'm going to turn off the microphone again. Yeah, the sound just went off again, right? You just didn't hear anything. Okay. Advanced audio settings. Okay, I found something that says the output is muted. Monitor and output. Let's see if this changes things. Javier, I'm about to turn off the microphone and tell me if you continue to hear the music. Okay, the microphone is back on. Did you hear the music while I turned the mic off? Let me know if that solved the problem. Yeah, we've got 2 people watching now. This is the 50th Street Studios. Way in the back. Yes, it was quiet. Yeah, I had it turned down low. Let me turn it up a little more. Okay, I'm turning the microphone off. Okay, now the microphone is back on and I'm turning it down a bit. Did you hear the music continually there? Okay, we have 2 people watching. There's Javier watching from El Salvador. Okay, you heard the music that time. Good. Okay, so I found what it is. It's one of those situations where there's multiple sets of controls, and which one will solve the problem, you never know. And you just have to keep experimenting. Okay. Right now, we are getting ready to start playing TOBOR the Great. Okay, I'm going to turn down the music. I'm going to fade out the music. And then I'm going to switch to the movie. Dudley Pictures Corporation. That was probably too loud just then. So you should be hearing the desktop audio and the microphone. I'm going to plug in my earbud so the speakers aren't blaring. Okay, that should be much better. Okay, let me know if that solved the problem. Yeah, I can hear both. Movie's louder than previous one. Yeah, which is good. Yeah, which is good. Okay.
This is a story of the future, but not the very distant future.
Next Sunday, AD. Oh.
It is a story that might have taken place the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, next
Like
Sunday,
all
AD.
stories of the future, however, its beginnings lie far back in
It's
the
beginning
past,
to look a lot like Christmas.
as far back as the first man on Earth to gaze at the stars and wonder someday, somehow, he might travel to them. Travel through space. In the years following the Second World War, 2 basic patterns began to influence
There's Earth
growing
floating in the
science
clouds.
of space travel. Rockets or guided missiles grew larger and larger.
That's a V2 rocket. At least they're not pretending it was a moon rocket, like they usually do.
Contained in a submarine. Finally, in a rocket ship.
Okay, now they're pretending that it's a moon rocket.
Immediately,
No.
by special order of the President, a new agency was formed. CIFC.
The CIFC.
Civil Interplanetary Flight Commission. So, with almost unlimited funds
The
voted by Congress,
KIFC.
this commission began its task.
The CIFC.
Research in new fissionable materials. More research in non-fissionable metallic alloys. to make rocket tubes that would not be melted like wax by their own atomic blasts.
Oh!
Mishaps occur, and men paid for them with their lives.
Oh, yeah, I see there was nobody in that V2.
But the work went on. Experiments in celestial navigation.
See, the Earth is round.
Astrophysics, aerodynamics, until finally only
Aerodynamics.
one obstacle remained. That, as our story begins, turned out to be the oldest obstacle in the history of mankind,
Now that says
the human factor.
NADC, the NAD. Where's the KIFK logo? Look at that observation port up in the ceiling. Who's up there? I'm more interested in what's going on up in that observation bay in the ceiling. I know what the rest of this is. I want to know what's going on up there. We got 4 people watching. Everybody say hello. Wherever you're watching from, say something in the chat. Let me know how you found us, where you're watching. Oh, is that... That looked like the little round desk. Yeah, see, there's somebody up there. Well, welcome, everybody who's watching. We just started watching the movie TOBOR the Great. It's our second bad movie of the day in this 12-hour bad movie marathon here at 50th Street Studios. 50th Street is a non-profit video production and photography studio in the Seattle area. There's a fundraising goal below my picture here. Wherever you're watching us, there should be a link in the description where you can make a donation. If you don't see a link, then take a look to my left here, and there's the text that tells you where you can go. It's at Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/50th Street Studio. We are raising funds to pay the rent here. This guy looks super pissed about whatever's going on. I'm going to turn off my mic here in a second and go post some links. Javier, are you still with us?
Not too fast. Now see here, Dr. Harrison. No, right. Steady. Slower. Slower.
Now see here, Dr. Harrison, he says. Now see here. You're making trouble, Dr. Harrison.
Really, Dr. Harrison, this is intolerable. Dan. Dan, are you all right?
Javier, yep, still hanging
Dan,
out.
snap out of it.
Yeah, Doc. Yeah.
Dan, how do you feel? Okay?
I feel like crap.
Must have blacked out.
What do I look like?
Sit tight and take it easy. Now get him out of there and over to the hospital.
You see, Doctor, he wasn't in any real danger.
Poindexter has to smoke.
Kill a cripple every day in experiments like this. Well, I won't stand by and see manslaughter become policy here.
I resent that implication. These men are volunteers.
I resent that.
The commissioner was most anxious to have this test carried out to the extreme so that he could discuss the results with Professor Nordstrom.
Well, you can tell the commissioner and Professor Nordstrom. Never mind, I'll tell him myself.
Yeah, see, this is why I wanted to get the desktop audio working so I could turn off the mic and go post links that the new movie is starting, and so I could, take a break, go get some tea. In fact, I'm going to do that very thing.
Oh, good morning, General.
Enjoy the film.
Professor Nordstrom's with the commissioner now. No, I'm sorry. Dr. Harrison, what's the matter?
I want to see the commissioner.
I'm sorry, he's with Professor Nordstrom.
Miss Biggett, copies of these for Professor Nordstrom, please.
I want to see you.
In just a few minutes, Harrison. I can't talk to you at the moment.
You don't have to. Just listen. I resign as of now.
Harrison, what in the world's wrong with you?
I told you once before that I'm not going to stand by anymore and watch human beings being turned into guinea pigs.
My dear Harrison, the uncovering of knowledge must always involve risk for pioneers. Fortunately, there are always men and women ready to take those risks. Now, you know that as well as I do.
That's not the point, and you know it. We shouldn't even be considering the use of test pilots in this first experimental ship. It's not only inhuman, it's unscientific and unintelligent.
That's quite enough. We'll resume this discussion later on.
My, you are in a state.
There's my pass, staff card, and the badge. You can send my papers down to the hotel.
Just a moment, Doctor. You can't leave the building without your exit pass, you know.
Yes?
Dr. Harrison, this is Gilligan of Transglobal News. I'm down in the lobby.
As far as I'm concerned, you can stay there.
Hold on, Doc. All I want to know is what's going on between you and Professor Nordstrom.
Nothing. Yes?
This is the Washington Globe, Dr. Harrison. We're trying to contact Professor Nordstrom.
Look, if this is a gag, it's not very funny. I've never even met Professor Nordstrom, and there's no reason to suppose that I ever will.
Dr. Harrison?
Yes. Are you by any chance going to talk to me about Professor Nordstrom?
Why, yes, in a way.
Well, let me tell you this. A, he isn't here. B, I don't know where he is. C, I've never met him. And D, I don't want to.
3 misstatements out of 4, Doctor. That's a bad average for a man of science. You see, I am Professor Nordstrom, and I'm very glad to meet you at last.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've followed your career with interest, and we see eye to eye on a subject with which I'm particularly concerned.
We do? I don't get it.
Perhaps a little more seclusion might be a good idea. You mind if I make myself comfortable?
Go ahead.
Well, the fact is, Doctor, I overheard your little interview with the CIFC director this morning. As I just spent an hour telling him exactly what you told him so much more cogently in a couple of minutes, I was, well, interested to say the least.
You mean to tell me that you think they're wrong in trying to use human beings?
I know they're wrong. Before we can prepare men for the conditions they're going to meet in extraterrestrial space, we've got to know what those conditions are. Not guess, but know.
That's what I've been telling them all along. But the problem of getting there and back to collect accurate data without the use of human pilots and observers is going to be a backbreaker.
On the contrary, I can almost say now that I have it solved. With your collaboration, I think I can convert that almost into an unqualified fact.
Your attention, please. Your attention, please. Skyliner flight number 1 for Los Angeles will board at South Concourse, gate number 5, in 15 minutes.
So we can start work the moment we arrive, without all of those coils of red tape hampering us all the time.
Yes, I know what you mean. I suppose that sprang from the secret nature of the project in the first place.
Top secret. Someday before I'm too old, I look forward to working on a job where I don't have to burn the contents of my wastebasket every night.
You never can tell who might be hiding in a wastebasket.
Don't tell me your security regulations quarter 2, my boy.
Okay. You were saying you'd be able to show me what you're working on as soon as we arrive.
I'd have to. Every minute counts now, because we have to perfect my innovation before the commission is ready to send out its first ship. Now, if we don't...
Well, well, if it isn't Professor Nordstrom. I don't know whether you remember me or not. Gilligan, science editor of Transglobal News Service.
You'll have to forgive me, Mr. Gilligan, but I've met so many journalists here in Washington.
All you scientists are supposed to be absent-minded. Me, I'm trained never to forget a face.
I'm afraid we're talking shop, Gilligan.
That's what I figured. You're Harrison, aren't you? Of the Civil Interplanetary Flight Commission.
No comment.
Well, you were until you quit this morning. And what was that all about, Doctor?
No comment.
You two being together here at the airport. This anything to do with the trouble you've had with the commission, Professor?
I'm afraid I have no comment for that either. Now, why don't you leave us both alone?
Oh, take it easy, Doc. Never can tell what kind of a story will gel when you big brains huddle together.
Like the one your syndicate released prematurely about the hydrogen bomb drops in the Pacific, or the atomic aircraft carrier engine.
Look, you're in the business of smashing atoms. I'm in the business of selling newspapers. If Uncle Sam doesn't know how to keep his own secrets, that's his tough luck.
It doesn't matter how much aid or comfort you give our potential enemies, or how many of our side eventually get killed.
Hold it, Ralph. Now listen, Mr. Gilligan.
You listen to me, Professor.
You fellas can't go on dummying up like this indefinitely. Sooner or later, you've got to talk for the record. Look at it this way. The prospect of space travel in the immediate future is the biggest news story in the country today. Years and years of research, millions and millions of taxpayers' dollars have been spent building that first spaceship. Now, when it's just about ready to take off, what happens? One of the greatest scientific minds in the world, that's you, comes out and disagrees about how the ship's to be worked.
I was about to say, Mr. Gilligan, I'd be willing to make a statement.
I don't want a statement. I want facts. It's no secret in Washington that the row was over your not wanting to use men on the first space trip. What the people of the United States want to know is what you propose using instead.
If I were prepared with the facts you're talking about now, I'd tell you. Only right now, I'm not. However, I will tell you this. Just 30 days from now, at my home in California, Dr. Harrison and I will tell all, or at least as much as circumstances at that time will allow.
I'll be there, Professor.
So will the science editors of, say, 11 other press services.
Well, I thought this was an exclusive. It ought to be.
Do the people of the United States read only trans-global news releases, Mr. Gilligan?
Your attention, please. Skyliner, flight number 1 for Los Angeles, now boarding at South Concourse, gate number 5.
That's our call, Professor.
I'll see you in California, Mr. Gilligan.
Okay.
All right, I've posted some links while I've been listening to the movie. Who's still with us? Looks like we've got 2 people watching. Say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, how you found us. And take a look at our goal below my picture here. We're raising money for 50th Street Studio, which is a non-profit. You should see a link in the description below, wherever you're watching from.
Here we are.
If you don't see the link, then to my left, below and to my left is
The car runs good.
the text where you can go to at Streamlabs.
This is my own invention. A combination of sonic beam and photoelectric cells. The chance of anyone else hitting on the same code of lights and sound impulses is practically non-existent. I have a whole series throughout my premises.
Practically non-existent.
Proud of them as if they'd won the Nobel.
I think you just pole vault over the fence. Alright, I'll be right back. Enjoy the film.
Darling.
Dad, it's so good to see you.
This is Dr. Harrison, Janice, my new colleague. My daughter, Mrs. Roberts, who runs this household with a rod of iron.
Dad, how do you do?
How do you do?
Gramps! Gramps! Gee wilkers, you got here just in time. Come on in the house, Gramps. I got it all figured out. Gee, I'm glad you're here. Come on, I gotta show you.
We got company.
This is my grandson, Brian, better known as Gadge. He likes gadgets, too, perhaps too fondly. Dr. Harrison, who's going to work with me.
How are you, Brian? Or may I call you Gadge?
How do you do, sir? Come on, Gramps, I gotta show you. Come on.
You'll have to excuse me. This sounds urgent.
He's the grandson. The father of the boy was killed in Korea 6-7 years ago. The boy is an imp of Satan. But what a brain. He'll be a greater man than his grandfather.
Look, Gramps, I told you I had it figured out. Only first I gotta make myself as tall as you are.
Up until this moment, I thought I had invented the only burglar-proof lock, with only 2 people in the world, Carl and myself, sharing the secret of the combination. And how did you work it out, young man?
Oh, logarithms. But I never went down the Gramps, honest. Not without you around.
Are you sure, Gadge?
Okay, Gadge. Come on, Ralph. As long as he has it open, I may as well show you what's down there.
Can I come too, Gramps?
No, my friend, you cannot. And I think it's time you were getting to school.
I'm afraid it is, Gadge.
What's the time?
Time is now 21 and a half minutes past 8.
Okay.
Gimmicks. Always gimmicks.
Let's get out of here.
Wish I were down there with them. I wish I knew what Gramps was doing. I mean, this big job. Why won't he tell me?
I guess it's just too important, Gadge. Nobody knows but Carl.
And now this Harrison guy. Must be a pretty big job for him not to tell me. He
What's
never...
that?
Shh, listen. What is it? What is it?
Okay, how far along are we on the movie? Ah, the kid is in the process of bugging the air vent.
Change your mind, Gramps?
I'm sorry, Gadge. You know how much I'd like to have you down there tonight, but I just can't.
But why? I know just as much about electronics and stuff as those old guys from the newspapers.
They're not just old guys from the newspapers, Gadge. They're very distinguished scientific journalists representing the most important news services of the world. I will grant you this. You do know as much about electronics as they do.
But I still don't see why.
Well, although you have a searching mind and the courage of a grown-up scientist, you look like just what you are, an
This
11-year-old
kid,
boy.
11-year-old
And I'm afraid
boy.
that the people we've invited here tonight under such secrecy might not be adult enough to understand your presence here. That's why I have to pack you off to bed.
I understand, Gramps.
Good night. Thanks, Gadge.
This kid gets away with so much.
I guess I won't be needing this anymore.
Well, I see no reason why you shouldn't hear what's going on.
Yeah, see?
Lockers. Thanks, Gramps.
They let this kid get away with everything. Gee, thanks, Gramps.
Go ahead.
I need to figure out how to change this this logo here.
This is worse than crashing the Pentagon. When do we get in?
When I've checked all the papers and written down all the numbers.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. All is in order.
Thank you, my friend.
Your place certainly has a lot of charm, Professor.
It certainly does.
It's an amazing location for a laboratory. How'd you ever find it?
This old wine cellar was precisely the reason that I bought this place. It's ideal both for security and to protect our delicate equipment from surface vibrations. And now I think we'd better get started. Won't you be seated, gentlemen?
No, please do.
I'm going to break into this box of Pocky. Chocolate banana Pocky. I went
As
to
you know, gentlemen, it is
grocery
my
shopping the
contention,
other
as well
day.
as Dr. Harrison's, that to man the first experimental spaceship with a living crew, is a useless and unwarranted risk of human life.
And I did the right thing.
The research programs so far conducted by the Armed Forces and the Civil Interplanetary Flight Commission have been well planned and executed as far as they go.
With
But they deal only with the easily deducible, obvious hazards of what we call space.
Walmart and Safeway
Disorientation.
having empty shelves,
But they cannot
I
guard
did the
against
right thing and I
unknown
found a
hazard.
local Asian market, a
Without the
Korean
results of
market in this
actual
case.
observation and recording of data,
They had plenty of
no
everything,
man can
plus
possibly know the conditions
hockey.
existing outside the atmospheric envelope of this Earth.
I'll be right back.
You can only guess. And to me, the word guess cannot in any circumstances fit with the word science.
Now, you say you must have the results of actual observation, yet you're opposed to sending human pilots to get them. Aren't you talking in contradictions, Professor?
No, Mr. Gilligan, as you will see for yourself.
What is it? What is it?
Well, gentlemen, meet TOBOR, a childish joke of mine. Robot spelled backwards.
Well,
Now see, he
since
gave
this
away,
is your invention, Professor Nordstrom,
he gave it away.
I suppose we can be sure this isn't just another movie Frankenstein.
Robot spelled backwards. He should have just left
You
it.
certainly can. In fact, the term robot is hardly accurate in spite of my joke. I would prefer to say an electronic simulacrum of a man.
This banana
Oh, gosh.
flavored Pocky does taste like banana. Or at least it's
Are you
banana
trying
candy.
to tell us that this pile of tin could actually pilot a spaceship?
Exactly.
Now, you control this thing from that box by some sort of electronic
There's
wavelength
William
or something,
Shallard.
right?
At the moment, I do, Mr. Johnson.
Famous character actor.
Well, how do you know that the wavelength will be powerful enough to work outside the Earth's atmosphere?
I don't, sir. But that doesn't matter very much because I'm not going to need them there.
There's 3 people
See,
watching
Mr.
right
Johnson,
now.
This control system
Say hello in
is
the
only
chat. Tell us
temporary
who you are,
to
where you're watching
activate
from, how you
TOBOR
found
during
us.
the early stages of his development. From this point on, he will be guided by a totally different method.
We're watching
How about a
TOBOR the
little
Great.
fill-in on that, Professor?
You mean something new? Something we've never heard of?
On the contrary, gentlemen, I'm sure most of you have heard of it, although I imagine few of you will believe in it. ESP, extrasensory perception.
You mean that
ESP.
stuff about projecting thought images by telepathy?
At that point,
Mr.
I would be
Gilligan,
getting up and
you're
leaving.
not too far off. In here, gentlemen, is the most intricate part of what I assure you is a highly sensitive mechanism. When that is activated, like this,
Oh, he looks alive.
No, he doesn't.
that is an illusion, my dear, caused by reflected light in the eye tubes.
Yeah, hello everybody.
And yet,
This
in
is
a way,
50
TOBOR
Street
is alive.
Studios,
For even though much work remains before he's completed,
12-hour
he is
bad
already
movie
a
marathon.
sentient
This is
being.
movie number 2,
The
TOBOR the
sentience
Great.
may be synthetic, but is there nonetheless. A necessary adjunct to the recording of all experiences our human space crews may later encounter.
And this is a fundraiser for
Sentient
50th Street,
being.
which is a
You
non-profit.
mean this
Goal
thing can
below me
feel?
there.
Well, let me put it another way. Even in his present unfinished state, TOBOR will react to emotional stimuli. Janice, help me with a little experiment, will you?
Yeah, get the girl up there.
Gentlemen, I assure you there's no collusion here. I'm merely going to ask Mrs. Roberts to approach TOBOR and feel friendliness toward him. Think goodwill, as it were. You can do that,
What?
can't you, Janice?
I'll try.
All right. then go ahead.
Yeah, you know, be sexy.
Just don't make any gestures. Just hold the friendship thought.
He does look almost kind, doesn't he?
No. No, he doesn't. Snip. What exactly does this prove?
Thank you, Jones.
Could you get a reaction from some other emotion, Professor?
I need to fix this
From a
logo
stranger.
up here.
Say from Johnston here.
I think we could manage
Johnson.
to do that. But
Johnson
why
was
don't
like,
you
leave
make
me
the
out of this.
experiment, Mr. Gilligan? Do you suppose you could contrive to feel enmity toward Tobor?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, sure I could.
Uh-oh,
Very well,
here
then.
comes the old
Suppose
RoboCop.
you get up and take one of those fire
The
racks.
old
along the
RoboCop
wall.
death scene. Convenient fire axe.
Now, if you will, walk around behind Tobor.
Well, you showed him
Hold
where the kill
thought of
switch is.
enmity all the time. Deadly enmity.
All right, I'll be right back.
Well, there you have it, gentlemen. This time the emotional stimulus was danger. The reaction, fear, instantly followed by anger. You have just witnessed the complete cycle of a synthetic instinct, self-preservation.
I have a question, Professor. Now, you've persistently referred to the fact that this robot...
Tobor, Mr. Johnston. You'd better use his name or he might resent you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll rephrase that. Why do you keep saying that Tobor is still incomplete?
For the simple reason, Mr. Johnston, that we have not yet perfected his long-range communication system. As you know, gentlemen, at each end of such a system,
Well, we still have two
there's
viewers.
a power unit, a transmitter, and a receiver.
I assume that
Here is our
Javier is
receiver,
still one of them.
Tobor himself. When he is switched from direct to infinite control, he's capable of receiving thought impulses over any conceivable span. It is only the
Direct to
transmitter
infinite
which Dr.
control.
Harrison and I are in process of perfecting.
How
No,
about
it doesn't
giving us
make
a
any
look at
sense.
his innards, Professor? Or are they top secret, too?
I don't mind if Tobor doesn't. And now, gentlemen, I think I've said everything I can say of importance tonight.
I gotta see Tobor. I just thought of it.
Yeah, they're doing this annoying thing that where whenever the kid is on screen, they play childish music. That's really annoying. Well, what's the kid gonna do to screw everything up?
I'm not questioning your integrity as a journalist, Mr. Gilligan. I'm simply requesting again that you confine your coverage to the facts contained in Professor Nordstrom's handout.
Now, look, Doc, we don't tell you how to run your job.
I realize that, Mr. Gilligan, but your papers aren't exactly famous for their conservative handling of the news.
Now, just a minute.
I'm having trouble finding our good copy of our logo.
That's the trouble with you scientists. You won't face up to the facts of life.
Won't face up to the facts of life.
Ralph, I have to put my car away. Would you give me a hand with the garage door?
I'd like to. Very much.
Was that supposed to be a tender moment there? They're connecting over the garage door. Oh, Timmy. His name's Timmy, right?
Gee, Tobor, you're beautiful.
Glad you could make it, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Don't get gross, kid. Well, I've got a version of our logo that I can use to correct this problem. Not the one I wanted. But it'll have to do. Let's see. Got the white border on it, which I didn't want. But right now, that's the best I can do. So there we are, 50th Street Studio logo. Kid's figured out how to operate this robot without even seeing it, or at least he thinks he has. He thinks he has. What's wrong with me? He thinks he has. While he's daintily making his way up the spiral stairs. Is the kid controlling that step by step?
Okay, they're all out.
Very good.
Okay, you walk up a metal spiral staircase with no problem. Then you walk into it and ruins the heart. Spitefully knocks over the... What?
It's Gadge. I'll bet he's doing it.
Gadge. It's Gadge. I bet he's doing it. This kid. But he gets away with murder. He gets away with everything. Just watch.
so-and-so. Do you
See?
realize what he did? He actually worked out all those controls and got TOBOR back in his box all within 5 minutes.
This is the 1950s. Grandpa would have been getting his belt.
But he was bad, very bad.
You go to bed, Janice. Ralph and Carl and I'll get this rubbish all squared away.
Good night.
Good night, darling.
Clean up after Timmy again.
Beats me how that kid worked out those controls. I'd hate to try it with a slide rule.
I told you that boy's a genius.
Hey, wait a minute. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many news services did you ask to send representatives tonight, Professor?
12, as you know. Why?
Oh, there's
There were
13
empty
chairs.
chairs, and tonight every one of them was filled.
Bum, bum, bum. Commies.
A 1953 black Ford sedan. License number 9Y-33-26.
Not
That's
anymore.
the last number on the list, Sheriff. Professor Nordstrom's man was instructed to admit all newsmen showing a proper letter of accreditation. Unfortunately, the professor omitted to tell him just how many were expected, so that 13th letter must have been a forgery. Incidentally, Sheriff, I'd appreciate it if you'd pass those license numbers on to the FBI. No, we won't be needing your deputies to guard us. We're taking our own precautions, and Professor Nordstrom assures me that they're more than adequate. Thanks again, Sheriff. Goodbye.
22 university degrees, and I forget to tell Carl the number of letters. No wonder they tell jokes about absent-minded professors.
Well, that's spilled milk now. At least we're alerted that somebody is mighty curious about TOBOR. Let's hope that those precautions of yours are rugged enough to keep them out.
Well, that at least I can guarantee. Come on, Carl. Let's check the wiring.
Gimmicks. Always gimmicks.
Gimmicks is always gimmicks.
I wish someone would tell me exactly who
Real
or what
comedy
we're
right
guarding
there.
against.
Well, we built the basic emotional patterns for a constructive mission into TOBOR. Just think what would happen if someone else, some potential enemy, built destructive patterns into a few thousand like him.
What a terrifying thought.
Anything new? They still haven't posted a guard.
Are you sure?
It's been 4 days now, and I haven't seen a soul. You must have got away with it.
Might be a trap.
Well, how do we play it then? Wait for a break?
Unfortunately, my friend, we haven't much time. The highest party officials are concerned. They feel that once Nordstrom has perfected his control system, the federal
The
government...
highest party official. See,
It
commies.
will be considerably more difficult for us to get at it.
And so?
So we get into the house.
Darn commies.
That's better. See, I rigged the telepathic pickup so that it fits behind the ear where it's close to the sensory brain centers. Conveys every impulse to the control device here where you can increase or diminish the vibrations. The whole thing fits as comfortably as a hearing aid.
Excellent, Ralph. Excellent.
Now, here's the transmitter receiver. I moved the tuning band to this end.
Beautiful.
Now, it's all set. You want to start?
I think you ought to operate these tests, Ralph. This whole new system is your work.
No, you go ahead.
All right. I worked out a series of reaction tests. Here they are.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, I might be able to get a better 50th Street logo here. Yeah, I think I can get one. Meanwhile, Tobor is an excellent typist. Finger typing. He can make a robot that can all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play. He can build a robot that has emotions and can read minds from an unlimited distance. He said that before, when it's set to unlimited.
What the devil's that?
But it can't speak.
Edge, what are you doing down
It
here?
can't talk on the radio.
Can I come and watch?
You seem to be here already. All right.
You seem to be here already. Ha 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 ha. Let Timmy get away with anything. Is that supposed to be stars? Good lord.
Okay, Ralph. Black out the screen. Let's see how he adapts himself to the sonar compass.
He's playing video games.
Wait, Tobor, that's using your coordinator.
That's
so far,
using
so
your
good.
coordinator.
I wonder how he'd take to the white hot meteorites.
Oh, he's playing asteroids.
This is a tough one, Gadge.
This is a tough one.
Coming at him fast now. I hope he can take it. I don't like this. Watch
Yeah,
him.
we're stuck with this.
Watch him.
This logo. Wow. Looks like he doesn't have to move at all. It just fly right down the middle.
Thing's going berserk.
He's going berserk. The pinball was.
Cut him off.
Oh! Fire bad!
Are you all right, boy?
Yeah, he put a kill switch.
No fracture. Just a bad bump.
Easy, Gadge.
You darn old Tobor, you better watch out.
Easy, Gadge. Tobor can't hurt us now. Wonder exactly what happened.
I think Tobor suffered what in a human being would be a nervous breakdown. Those meteors came at him so fast that he couldn't take it.
I think you're right.
I think all
Think
we
you're
have
right.
to do is insulate against overloading the receptors. If we do that, maybe we've jumped the last hurdle. What are you doing now?
Switching him on again. Receptors must have cooled off by now. Let's see if he's still functioning.
You're all right now, Tobor.
Punch. Aww.
Next time you better watch where you're going.
Aww.
There's another one of Tobor's synthetic instincts. Concern for the young. Race preservation.
Or to put it less academically, human love.
Did you say race preservation?
Okay, Tobor. I guess you didn't know what you're doing.
Concern for the young, race preservation, or human love. Garbage.
250 even, lady. Thanks.
215 rubles. I mean dollars.
Okay, just another customer.
We still got one viewer. Who's watching?
Another half hour ought to do it. Good.
Soon I'll have to leave to fetch Dr. Gustav.
When do we make our move?
Not before midnight. Perhaps later. Depends on the house being dark.
Yeah, who's our one viewer? Is it still Javier? This is the 50th Street Studios 12-hour bad movie marathon. We're nearing the coming on the third act of TOBOR the Great.
Everything is ready, Doctor.
Bad robot movie from the 1950s.
This is your duty. All you have to do is to inspect and photograph this work of Nordstrom's. Leave everything else to us. Paul, you go first.
I am a spy, not a bricklayer. Yeah, see, all I need is a ladder to get over the fence. Excuse me.
Intruder is now inside electrified fence, north boundary. Intruder is now inside electrified fence, north boundary. Intruder is now inside electrified fence, north boundary.
Is that speaker in Timmy's room? Oh, we've got 0 viewers now.
Camera number 6, Carl.
Yeah, that'll come in handy.
Show 'em up.
22.
Intruders approximately 100 yards north of house. Intruders approximately 100 yards north of house. Intruders
Amazing how this television camera of yours can photograph at night without lights.
Not television, infravision.
Hit camera number 8, Carl.
Intruder is now approaching house. Intruder is now approaching house. Intruder is now approaching house.
Yeah, I think.
Intruder is now approaching house.
I think they get it.
Intruder is now approaching house.
Now, Herr Professor?
Now.
A disintegration ray? Should have been a disintegration ray.
Who's shooting? No one is. That's a recorded soundtrack from a movie studio, right out of the sands of Iwo Jima. Let's go.
Sands of Iwo Jima. Scare off the commies.
Yes, come back here. Yes!
Too bad they got away.
You shouldn't have pushed me, Ralph. I would have had him.
Shouldn't push me, Ralph. Shouldn't have pushed me, Ralph.
Smart cookie, that Nordstrom.
Gets funnier the more I think about it.
Mustn't be. I needn't remind you our employers will not tolerate any more failures on your part, nor mine.
Well, what do we do now?
We think, my friend. Or rather, I think. And this is what I think. Since we cannot get in to see Nordstrom's secrets for ourselves, we must induce him to come out and tell them to us.
A tall order, I would say.
Not necessarily. There must be a vulnerable spot. Of course. Nordstrom worships his grandson. The grandson worships.
Brian, Roberts, and a friend are cordially invited to space travel preview of First Flight to Mars.
Mom! Hey, Mom!
Hey, watch it. You better blow your horn at those intersections, Gadge.
Gee, I'm sorry, Mom, but look it!
Oh, wonderful. What day is it?
It's Tuesday.
And who's going to be your friend?
Well, I'd like to invite you, Mom, but I doubt if you understand this sort of thing.
Oh.
No, I suppose not.
Well, guess Grand's my only man. I'll go see him right away.
Jeez, talk down to Mom.
Good. Now Tobar can turn his own switch on or off when he's called.
Better you should learn to clean the house and drive the car.
Ha
And
ha
spend
ha.
all my time making toys for you to play with.
Comedy.
It's all finished. The new
But
transmitter
Tobor
board
can
built inside a pencil.
Tobor can flip his own switch. That won't be a problem. No.
You made it beautifully, Carl.
But for what? That you can play schoolboy tricks on very important people. And you show Tobor off tonight. Gimmicks.
Sorry to disturb you, Professor, but I thought you'd want me to remind you about your date with Gas for the planetarium.
What's the matter with me these days?
These days.
Gad, where are you, boy? We ought to be going.
Right with you, Gran.
Now, don't be late. Your very important persons will be here at 7 o'clock sharp, remember?
Oh, we'll be back an hour before then. You mark my words. Ah, here you are, partner. Come on, let's hit the trail.
Griffith Observatory. Same location we were at with Brain from Planet Aros. Just down the hill. It's strange, there's nobody here. I don't know why I'm talking, there's nobody watching.
Where's everyone else?
Probably inside. Come on, Gramps.
Come on, Gramps. I'm gonna turn off the mic while there's nobody watching. Go do some stuff.
I think there's something wrong.
You think so?
It's the right day.
Yes, young man. The right day for us, if you please.
But something must have happened. I know Dad's careless about time, but he wouldn't be an hour late, not tonight.
I still think he had a flat tire or he ran out of gas.
No, you don't. That's what you hope happened. Oh, Ralph, I'm worried.
All right, I'll phone the sheriff's office. That's the brass. I'll phone from down the lab. You meet him and just tell him he'll be a little late. Come on now, snap on it.
I'll be all right. Good evening, General.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are you?
How do you do?
How do you
Good
do?
evening.
Gramps, you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm okay.
Have you quite recovered, Professor Nordstrom?
I'm fully conscious, if that's what you mean.
And therefore able to understand your position?
Completely, I assure you.
Perhaps not as completely as you think. Of course, as a man of intelligence, you have realized that you are obviously here to talk. But you may not have anticipated what happens if you don't.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to raise your voice a little.
I said you may not have anticipated what happens if you don't.
Something very unpleasant, I should say, judging by the look of you and your friends.
Yes, very unpleasant. But to whom? That's my point.
Don't you tell him, Gramps. Please don't you tell him.
Just shut your mouth.
Don't look for trouble, Gadge. You seem to have me over a barrel. I take it you want the formulae for my extrasensory transmission method. Very well. Do I tell them to you or write them down or what?
You will not have the opportunity to give us double talk, Professor. You will have to relay your discoveries to a colleague almost as distinguished as yourself.
How do you do, sir? I'm sorry I can't get up to greet you.
How do you do, Professor?
Oh, please forgive me. My doctor told me only this week that I was getting a little deaf. My pocket, if you please. Put that over my head, behind my ear, please. Ah, that's much better.
And so, gentlemen, I'm afraid the question of whether TOBOR is capable of guiding a multi-stage rocket across interstellar space is highly debatable, let alone as being able to deal with all the emergency situations of such a journey.
I don't know, Mr. Commissioner. After all, we've had automatic pilots on both conventional aircraft and guided missiles since the middle of World War II. What do you think, Congressman?
Well, all I can say, sir, is the motto of one of the greatest states in our union is, show me. And that's exactly what Professor Nordstrom will have to do.
I couldn't agree with you more. Automatic pilots are one thing. Intelligent direction of a billion-dollar space cruiser is something else.
Yes? Yes, I see. Thank you, Sheriff. Let me know if you hear anything. A moment, please, gentlemen. It's no good trying to keep it from you any longer. About Professor Nordstrom's failure to be here. Frankly, we don't know where he is. He and his grandson left early today, presumably to visit a science show at the planetarium in Los Angeles. They were to be back at 5:30. That was the sheriff's office on the phone. They have no news of Professor Nordstrom or the boy. Neither has the Los Angeles Police Department or the FBI. And there was no science show scheduled at the planetarium today.
Well, isn't there something we can do instead of just standing around?
Afraid not, except wait.
Oh, Professor. All right.
Now, these principles, you must understand, had to be reduced to a working form. If I could jot down the basic equations, it would save us a lot of time.
Is that correct, Doctor?
Most certainly.
Very well. Paul, release his hands. I strongly advise you, Doctor, to confine yourself to the matter in hand. Pencil and paper.
Gramps, don't you do it. Please don't you tell him.
Lie still, Gadge. Don't try to get up.
If you please.
Settle it. As soon as I can write.
Another pencil.
I have another one right here.
see, there'll be 6 cars altogether. We'll assign 1 square to each car.
What's the matter?
What is it? Anything wrong? Listen.
Ralph, Dad must have come back.
No, I don't think so.
I don't understand this, Harrison. What's operating the thing?
Somehow, wherever he is, Nostrov's controlling TOBOR.
This is a boring movie for the most part, but it goes off the rails here in the final act.
Let's follow the cars.
Something wrong, Doctor? Yes, I think so. This figure, it cannot be correct.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just a slip.
This is the third mistake you've made, Nostrum.
I'm very sorry. I'm trying to remember an extremely complicated formula. I should have my notes.
Of course, I could stimulate your memory with artificial methods.
Of course, everybody just trusts the robot. Instead of deactivating it or blasting it to bits. Harry, or what's his name, is like, no, let's follow the robot. I don't think it's going berserk or anything. Bonk. TOBOR took off with the Jeep. I don't tell the guy anything. Why I oughta book learning. Nobody's watching. I got no viewers. Oh! Oh! Guys, please. Wow. We have no idea what's going on. Just trust the robot. Trust the berserk robot. I had my headphone, my earbud in my ear. I didn't even have it plugged into the laptop. Dumb. Remember, they have no idea what the robot's doing. It can't talk. It can supposedly read minds and feel emotions from unlimited distances. Literally no limits. It can fly a spacecraft. It can drive a Jeep. But it can't tell anybody what it's doing.
So far it is good, Professor, but it is only a promise. Now we come to the big step, yes?
Yes, in a minute. But first, hadn't we better go over the data again to make sure?
Professor, you seem to forget that I was present when you said that you hadn't yet perfected the long-distance transmitter for TOBOR. Could it be that you have solved that problem so soon?
Whoops.
Use mine and use it quick. I won't stand for this any longer. You'll give the required information immediately. Max!
You bloated idiot!
Wait!
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh my god.
You win.
Wow. God forbid this movie should be seen by the wrong kind of person.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Uh-oh. ESP.
One chance. If Gaz and the professor are near this spot, they may be able to reach him on a direct telepathic impulse.
Stupid. That's just plain stupid.
TOBOR, please come get us, TOBOR.
It's too bad nobody's watching. If anybody is watching, let me know. Yay! ESP saves the day. Yeah, don't hurry or anything, fellas.
Now he is cooperating.
Now that he has a proper pencil. Miranda, hi Miranda. Good morning. You're watching the final act of TOBOR the Great, where it basically turns into a Three Stooges film. Punch, punch. Oh! Yuck, 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 yuck. Activate curly routine number 37. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ooh. An aluminum siding knee to the face.
Over there.
See, they built TOBOR with after a quick trip to the hardware store. He's trying to shoot through the windshield? Don't flip the car over or anything. Open the hood and rip out the alternator. Pardon me while I stretch.
You were saying, Mr. Commissioner, just as that phone rang, that you doubted that TOBOR was capable of reacting to emergency situations?
I'm afraid I was, but I withdraw my observation.
Beverly says I like that he sounds like a tea kettle. Yeah. You see, Beverly,
Gee, Tobor, you're wonderful.
a love story between a boy and a robot. The Tobor has the ability to switch himself from direct remote control to ESP control. So when the evil commies when the evil commies took away the professor's hidden control thing in his pencil, Tobor was able to detect little Timmy in trouble. It's a V2 rocket. There's no robot in there.
Goodbye, Tobor. And good luck.
Goodbye, Tobor. My work here is done. This is not the original ending graphic. I don't know what the original ending graphic looked like. Somebody tacked this on when they uploaded it to YouTube. Okay. The end. That was Tobor the Great. Movie number 2 here on the 50th Street Studios. Excuse me. This is what happens when you eat while broadcasting. That was movie number 2 in 50th Street's 12-hour bad movie marathon. Shortly here... Oh, geez, it's almost noon right now. Let me switch to the movie schedule. Got the wrong graphic on there. Let me add the correct graphic.